Hi, this is, my final on the solar system, and I don't really know how to do intros, so I guess I'm just gonna get along with it, you know? A very long time ago, and I mean a very long time ago, most Greek astronomers thought that everything orbited around the Earth. This model is known as the geocentric system, where the Earth is in the center. There were some people, however, that thought that the Sun was in the center. This model was called the heliocentric system. Many people didn't believe it, though, until the 1600s. In 1610, Galileo Galilei was able to prove not everything went around the Earth. He was able to use a telescope and looked at things like Jupiter's moons, which obviously weren't orbiting around the Earth. He also discovered that Venus had phases similar to the Earth's moon, which proved that a geocentric model was incorrect. Nowadays, people believe that the heliocentric system is the correct model. And if you think everything orbits around the Earth, I think you have a problem. But enough about that. Let's get on to the Sun. The thing that every planet in the solar system orbits around. The thing that gives Earth life. The thing that will burn your eyes if you look at it. The Sun is the biggest object in the solar system, taking up 99.8% of the solar system's mass. You big bag! It has 6 different layers: the core, radiation zone, convection zone, chromosphere, photosphere, and how the freak do you say that? Corona. It just gives me flashbacks to coronavirus, but we don't talk about that. But the photosphere is the quote-unquote surface of the sun, so you can see it in pictures, unlike other layers. During the solar eclipse, you're also able to see the corona, which is the ring that you see around the moon when it happens. And then there's the inner planets, aka the rocky planets. The first planet, which is closest to the sun, is Mercury. It's also the smallest planet in the solar system, unless you count Pluto, which honestly, Pluto is still a planet in my eyes. You can't change my mind. Mercury also doesn't have much of an atmosphere, which can really make it really hot or really cold. The side facing the sun can get up to 430 degrees Celsius, while the side facing away from the sun can get to negative 170 degrees Celsius. The next planet is Venus, which is the hottest planet in the solar system. I mean, at least I'm pretty sure. Venus is often called Earth's twin because of their similar size, but they have many differences. The atmosphere on Venus is 90 times the pressure as Earth, so if you were to walk on it, you would die. You also won't be able to breathe since the atmosphere on Venus is mostly made of carbon dioxide. Next is our home planet, Earth. Of course, it has things like water, oxygen, just enough heat, blah blah blah, everything needed to sustain life. You know what I mean. The Earth has 3 main layers: the crust, mantle, and core. The crust has a rocky and solid surface, and under the crust is the mantle. The mantle is also made of hot and molten rock and lava, which is what comes out of volcanoes when they erupt. Next planet is Mars, the red planet. What makes it look red is the broken down rocks, and it creates a rusty dust that covers Mars' surface. Like Venus, most of Mars' atmosphere is made of carbon dioxide, but it isn't really as deadly as long as you wear a suit and an oxygen tank. Something really cool about Mars is that scientists think that Mars could have once had water like Earth, since there are many features and canyons on Mars that look like ancient coastlines. Now onto the outer planets, aka the gas giants. The first is Jupiter, which is the biggest planet in our solar system. The atmosphere of Jupiter is mostly made of hydrogen and helium. It also has a very big storm called the Great Red Spot, and it's a massive storm that has been happening for hundreds of years and is way bigger than Earth. Jupiter has a lot of moons too, some of the biggest being Ganymede, Io, Callisto, and Europa. The next planet is Saturn, which is mostly known for its rings. Its rings are made of rock and ice, and they have their own orbit around Saturn too. Saturn also has a lot of moons, and its biggest moon is Titan. Next is Uranus, which has a blue-green color because of the atmosphere. Uranus is also tilted at an angle of 90 degrees, unlike most planets which are side-to-side orbit. Last but not least is Neptune. Neptune has about the same size as Uranus and has a similar color. Neptune also has storms like the Great Red Spot, like Jupiter, except that they seem to come and go more often, unlike Jupiter's red spot, who has been there for hundreds of years. Neptune also has at least 13 moons, the biggest moon being, how do you say that, Triton? Triton. Yeah, Triton. So yeah, that's our entire solar system. Unless you want to hear me yap about Pluto and its moon, Charon, but like, I don't know how to do outros. I don't know how to do outros. So, bye.